you'll notice that something shifts, right? You'll start walking differently. You start sitting differently, dressing, smelling, taking your time with your hair, with your skin, with what you eat, with who's around you. You'll love differently. You'll love slowly. Hey beauties, welcome back to your go-to space for all things self-care, self-love, and embracing your true self-worth. If you're ready to glow from the inside out, don't hesitate to press that subscribe button and join our amazing community. I want to take a moment just for you, mama, right? It's maybe the end of the day, it could be the starting of the day, and you either know you're about to do 10,000 things for the kids, or it's the end of the day and you've already done 10,000 things for the kids, the house, if you have a partner, your partner, whatever is on your list for work. Right now in this video, this moment, it's going to be yours. It's going to be ours. I want you to breathe with me, okay? We're going to inhale love and exhale everything that's not serving you. Ready? Let's go. Inhale love. And exhale everything that is not serving you. I know what it feels like to have to be strong for everybody else, but then uncertain about what is for you. Smiling through exhaustion. You're tired, but you're smiling through, you're working through, you're pushing through. Posting pictures where you look happy, even though inside you are feeling miserable. You're questioning, are you good enough? Are you good enough for someone else in the future? Are you good enough as a mom, as a friend, as a sister? We all carry insecurities. Sometimes it's soft, like it's whispers that we hear. Sometimes it's something loud screaming at us. Today, in this video, whenever you're watching this, we're not going to let it win. We have to take steps in removing those insecurities as best as we can. So this video isn't about becoming perfect, but instead it's about doing the best that we can. It's about becoming peaceful. It's about you, mama, knowing that even on the days where it's a little rocky, you are still whole. So where do insecurities even come from? Like, why do we deal with it? Most of our insecurities didn't start with us, right? It came from either the shows that we used to watch when we were younger, things that people said to us, things that we overheard in school, you know, whether it be teachers that made certain comments or it was other students who made certain comments. These little things over time, whether it was even at church, right? Things that happened to us in our childhood grows and breeds these insecurities. So then life happens, right? We get older, you become a mom, you become a wife, you experience life. So what happens? Your body changes, your energy now shifts, you're dealing with things at work that's now inside of you, that's now shaping how you're thinking and how you're moving about your days. All the while looking at these movies that have these certain type of aesthetics, looking at our Instagrams and Facebook that has these families posting pictures that are so perfect, these moms that are doing things that are just so perfect. It adds into our insecurities that we may face. And it brings on this type of notion that having confidence means that things should look flawless and things should look perfect. But that's a lie. That's a lie. Confidence has nothing to do with how you look. It has to do with how you see yourself and how you feel inside. It's the way you speak to yourself when no one is around. There were times when I would look in the mirror and I would just critique myself to the T, break myself apart. I remember these days when I would look in the mirror and say to myself, oh, I don't like my hair texture. You know, I don't like my tired eyes. I don't like my weight. I don't like how this looks. I don't like how that looks. Right? And then I started to shift into speaking positively into myself. And when I started shifting the way I thought about myself, then that led me to make actions behind it. All right. So now that I'm saying I love my hair texture, let me see now what I could do to make it lay the way I want it to lay, to look a certain way. So then that made me now be proactive in looking up things to have my hair healthy as possible, to now where to this day my hair looks and lays the way I want it to. So I shifted my mindset. Then it was when it came to my weight, I started looking to see, what am I going to love about my body when it reaches to where I want it to reach? And now when I sit back and I look at my body now, is it where I want it to be? No, but it is very far from where it was 90 something pounds ago. And I keep saying to myself, thank you to myself that I kept talking light into me. Because I kept talking light into myself, it kept me motivated to keep going. Every time I made an adjustment, every time I lost some pounds, I hugged myself and I said, you got it. I talked life into myself, which then changed a lot of things and made me build the confidence I need. No one is going to give me the confidence. No one's going to give you the confidence. You have to give it to yourself. You have to it's like you have to be a little delusional in that moment. You have to be a little delusional in that moment to trick your mind into feeling and thinking you are where you want to be. And then you'll gradually get there. We've been conditioned to feel like confidence is always the loudest, the one who wears the sharpest outfits, the one who speaks the most in the room. And what I've noticed over time is that confidence and the one who's the most feminine are the ones who are the quietest and the ones who speak when they need to speak. Because you're not trying to overshadow certain things. You're not trying to out-talk things to make yourself seem and appear more than what you are. You know who you are. So being still, being silent, speaking when you need to speak, and then when you speak, everyone stops. That's the confidence right there. Right? That's the confidence. And not having to be loud. Being able to command attention at a certain tone. Being able to use your vocabulary. Working on those type of things will build your confidence. Not making sure that you are the most rah in the room, the one who's the loudest, the one who uses the hands a lot and gets all the attention and da. Right? Actually, to me, that screams insecurity. It screams a lot that needs to be worked on. So when we shift our mindset into knowing that we could stay still, we could stand still, we don't have to change who we are to then feel confident, to then feel we have to get the attention, gathering your thoughts, thinking about what you're going to say before you say it, knowing that you know what you're speaking about will give you the confidence that you need in order to communicate, whether you're in a boardroom, you're at certain meetings at work, you're speaking to a group of friends, you're speaking to your family, you're trying to convey a message. Right? Think about what you want to say. Stand in what you want to say. Be respectful. Be kind. That's where the confidence is going to lie and where it's going to live. Confidence is the presence of grace. Like when I think of somebody who's confident, when I envision somebody confident, I envision Felicia Rashad. I envision Lauren London. These people, these women, I envision Diane Keaton. These women are not the loudest people, right? They're very soft-spoken. They're very matter-of-fact, and they know themselves, even through their insecurities. You could tell that they're choosing rest over perfection. You could tell when these women speak that they've taken time to know who they are before they even open up their mouth. And when they're opening up their mouth, everything that's coming out of it is out of love. Not out of defensiveness and not out of having to prove something. It's out of love and sharing what needs to be shared in that moment. Confidence doesn't show up just in grand gestures, right? We need to know when to say no to something. If I'm asked something that I do not feel comfortable with, if I'm asked something that I feel goes against my morals, my ethics, my energy, I'm going to say no, and I'm going to say it respectfully, confidently. You have to protect your energy. You have to protect yourself. Speaking up when something feels wrong and setting boundaries without any guilt. A few years ago, I had realized that I was showing up for everyone but myself. My kids, work, I was putting myself last. I was pouring from an empty cup. And then I was wondering why I felt disconnected and I didn't have any confidence. It's because I wasn't pouring into myself. Then I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start taking things slow. I'm going to start looking at each part of myself that I want to improve on. Write down what it is I want to do and then set goals for each part. So it was my weight, my hair, my nails. If I wanted to always have fresh, nice nails and I couldn't always make it to the nail salon, or it was so expensive and it was causing me more stress than I needed to, what did I do? I looked into figuring out how to get it done myself and do it myself. And it took time, but I knew this is what I wanted. So now I could do my nails how I want. It looks really, really nice. It matches my personality and it makes me feel even more confident. I mean, I don't need the nails, right? But I'm just saying that's what I like and makes me, and it adds to my little confidence in myself. I started getting dressed when I didn't need to get dressed. And I started paying attention more to my fashion and what I'm wearing. I was never a big fashion person. I'm still not the biggest fashion person. But I've noticed that when I take the time to put pieces of clothes together, pieces of outfits together, I feel different. And so now I'm focused on doing that. Now that I've lost weight and I've gotten myself to a certain point, now that's my thing right now. That's what I'm working on and building my confidence, is looking at outfits and putting it together. That's my little thing. Now let's talk about what it really means to let go. Because this part is not easy. It's not magical. It's not 1, 2, 3. It just is not. Healing process of building your confidence, it gets down to doing and asking yourself a lot of questions, right? So if you're feeling a certain type of way about your body, when did this start? Who told you certain types of things? What did you watch that started making you feel this way? If you have bad habits with eating and drinking, when did that start? Why did that start? Writing these things down, connecting it, and realizing maybe it's tied to a certain thing that happened in your life, a certain year that was particularly rough. Then you could work backwards, right? Then you could address those situations, address what those things meant in your life, to then heal from it and therefore move on. When you identify where the insecurity comes from, you take away the power of it. You're able to pinpoint something and then work on what it is. That power is gone. You start to see it for what it is. Not that it's the truth, but that it's a conditioning based on events, trauma in your life. Here's something that you can do, right? Go in the mirror and say to yourself, I forgive myself for not believing that I'm good enough. And then say that I'm proud of the woman that I'm becoming. And I'm proud of the woman that I'm going to work hard to be. You say that to yourself, it lets go of the past, and you are putting yourself and aligning yourself to hold yourself accountable to the future that you want. And then once you start letting go, you'll notice that something shifts, right? You'll start walking differently. You start sitting differently, dressing, smelling, taking your time with your hair, with your skin, with what you eat, with who's around you. You'll love differently. You'll love slowly. To embody confidence means to live it daily in your posture, your energy, your warmth, your words. It's not about arrogance or perfection. It's actually the opposite. It's about alignment. When your spirit energy and your actions all align. So how does a confident woman move? She doesn't rush her healing. Stay in it. Stay steady in it. Receive everything. Learn from everything. Address as much as you can address. And move on from it. Don't stick in it. Don't stick in any trauma. Don't stick in any feeling. Move on from it. Have your vision. Speak affirmations to your children, to yourself, every day. The words that you say to yourself and your kids matter. Healing overflows to generations. Think back to when you were a kid and the things that your parents might have said, your grandparents, uncles, aunts, that still live with you today, that they don't even probably remember that they said. We have to be very intentional in what we say to kids. Have to be. It's irresponsible if we just blurt out what we feel, what we want. Think back to how things made you feel as a child and how those things carried you into your adulthood. So we need to be very intentional when we're speaking to our children. And then when you walk into these rooms, when you walk into a board meeting, when you walk into work, when you walk into church, when you walk into a room with your friends, and when you walk into a room, own your space. And not by being the loudest and the one that needs the most attention, right? No, you wouldn't need that anymore. And when you walk into a room now, it's going to be that you're owning that space. And every time you choose yourself, you're embodying confidence. Every time you rest, every time you say no, every time you believe you're worthy. So let's end this together by saying a few affirmations. Put your hand over your chest. I am enough. I release everything that doesn't serve me. I am beautiful in every phase and in every season. I am confident, not because I am perfect, but because I am whole. I deserve peace. I deserve love. I deserve me. Every day, I want you to wake up, and you may not want to say these exact words. Make up your own. You're not your insecurities. You're your light. You're the resilience. And it's time for the world to see you. Start today. If this message spoke to you, my beauties, please share this video with someone that you truly care about, that you know that will benefit from this video. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.